Hello, this is Mr. Jarrett, and in this video tutorial we are going to be working on this object. So once again we are trying to focus on drawing this in the most efficient way. So most of the drawings up to this point we've been able to get away with drawing only one sketch. In this drawing we have to do a few sketches to actually be able to cut out holes and different things like this on the different sides. So I am still going to try to look at this in the most efficient way of starting. So whether I draw from the top view, the right view, or the front view is the question. For this, having a slant on here, some of you might say, well, if I draw from the top view and extrude up, it's going to get me all the way up to this flat part, but that's not going to put the slant in. And that's correct. It's the same thing if you did it from the right side. You're not going to have that slant. So you would have to go back in later on, draw the slanted piece, and you would have to cut it off. Something like this shape back here. Okay. What I'm going to do instead, since my origin's right here, I'm going to draw this from the front view, extrude this whole big part back, and then extrude this same sketch forward, this piece. Then I can work on putting a sketch over here to cut this hole through, a sketch up here to put those two holes through. So I'll pull this to my side screen, and I'm going to open a new part in SolidWorks. Change this to inches. Yours isn't already. Then I'll go to Sketch, select the Sketch tool, and I'm going to be sketching on the front plane. Then I'll get my line tool, start to draw around. So moving to my left, up a little bit, over. And I'm kind of working my way back around here. So I have the basic shape of this so far, except there is a line that goes into here. Okay, that line is what parts the back half to the front half. That line is this thing right here. So now I have this shape and this little piece down here, as you can kind of see. Okay, so any horizontal or vertical lines that need to be horizontal or vertical and you don't have those relationships already, go ahead and make those. And then from there you can start dimensioning all of this. So it says from the bottom all the way up to the top, this is on the far left side of your picture, that is 1.5 inches. Shows this little piece down here is 1/4 of an inch. It shows the length of that line is 1.5 inches. Shows the length from this vertical line we drew to the origin is 1 inch. Okay, and the overall length, so from the far left all the way back to the origin, that is a total of 3.5. I'm going to readjust my picture here and some of my dimensions so you can see better. Okay, the only thing we have left to do now is the angled line, and it shows that from this point to this point straight up is 2. So you can do that by clicking on the points like this and moving up, or you can simply just click on the line with the dimension tool and move your mouse straight up. Notice it will automatically think you want to do an align dimension. That's a dimension on an angle. But we don't want to do that. We want to move our mouse straight up, and we want to make that 2 inches wide. And if we click and move over to the right, we want to make that 1 inch tall. Okay, so now everything is fully defined. We can go over to the Features tab, hit Extrude, and we'll select in here and here, so both of those regions. We're going to send this backwards, and that total distance here is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to pull my picture to the side here so you can see. See, the total depth is 2, okay? And we're right here, and we're trying to figure out this depth. So we can see in front of this, it has a measurement of 0.5. So that means we're going to have to do the math in our head and say 2 minus 0.5, which should give us 1.5 inches. Now you could also, if it was a more complicated drawing, you could type that in here. So 2 minus 0.5, and it figures it out for you, as you can see. So I'll hit the green check. I'm going to hit Extrude again. It's going to ask me for an existing sketch. So just like we've done in prior drawings, hit the drop down, select your sketch. And this time we want to select just this piece. We want to make that come forward only 0.5. I'll hit the green check. So now we have our solid shape. what's left to do is to cut these different holes in here. So we'll get the sketch tab, select sketch, and I'm just going to do this easy one first. So I'm going to rotate around, select this flat face here. Okay. Now, if it doesn't completely rotate your screen, you can hold the key Control and 8. So Control 8, and that is called normal 2. So anywhere I'm facing, if I hit Control 8, it rotates me around to the side that I'm currently drawing on. So that's kind of nice. So next, I'm going to use the corner rectangle tool. I'm going to select this bottom line, just draw a little rectangle in like that. Then I can start to dimension this. So from the far right to the far right, that is a 1/2 inch. It is a 1/2 inch wide. And the overall height of this, it shows is 0.2. Okay. Then I can go to the Features tab and hit Extrude Cut. And we want to send this cutting back through this the whole entire way. So instead of just guessing a measurement, change it from blind to through all. And notice that will cut through everything. And I can hit the green check. And there's that bottom cut. Now I have to do the 2 holes up top. So same process, we'll get the sketch tool. We'll select this flat side up here. You can hit Control 8 on your keyboard, it will rotate you around. And then you can go ahead and you can draw your circles. Okay. So both of these circles should be set to equal. So I'm going to select one of them, hold in Shift and select the other one. We'll set them to equal. And then I can start to actually measure these and place them. So the circles themselves are 0.36. And from the bottom to this first circle, it's a total measurement of 1/2 inch. From the bottom back to the second circle is a total measurement of 1.5. And now in from the left to this first circle, that is 0.38. In from the left again to the top circle, that is 1.13. Okay, so they should be fully defined. Notice we had to dimension their size and their location from left to right, top to back. Okay, so now I can go to the Features tab, Extrude Cut again, and we'll change this to through all. So from blind to through all. And as you can see, it's going to project all the way through this thing. Green check, and I have that drawing done. Okay, so now let's change our material and check our mass. So the material is oak. It is a default for me because I set it as a default, but I know on your computer it probably is not. So we need to go into the Edit Material. And this is the steel folder. So we want to scroll all the way down and find the Woods folder. And in the Woods folder, you will find oak. Then you can hit Apply and Close. Now it's a nice wooden shape. Let's go to the Evaluate tab and Mass Properties, and we should get a mass of 0.14 pounds. If you got that, you can save this as the assignment name, and you can move on to the next assignment. If you didn't, go back, edit your different sketches or your extrusions, and figure out where you went wrong.